when it comes to the posters, those are ideas, and that's freedom of speech. And I don't. It's when they say like empower each other. There's ways to do that, but at the same time, it's freedom of speech, and they have the ideas. You know, the best way to get rid of those ideas, if they have them, is to bring them to the front. You know, if somebody has all this hatred and has hatred for other races, has hatred for other religions, you know, bring them out, let them talk, and then once that dialogue starts going, that's the best way to get rid of it. If you just keep silencing them, you tear down their posters, they're gonna get even more mad, they're gonna get more violent, and that's how totalitarianism starts. When you start
Build the wall! Build the wall! Build the wall! Build the wall! Hillary's going to jail! Hillary's going to jail! Going to jail! Hillary's going to jail! Yeah!
I hate any violence towards anybody based on who they are. It's it's unforgivable. But at the same time, to put that on Donald Trump's campaign, when he received 30% of the Latino vote, and it was I think 15% of the black vote, to say to put all those people together and say that they also endorse that violence is just wrong. I wasn't originally a Donald Trump supporter. My mother, who's from Mexico, kind of pushed me on to him. And what really stood out to me was kind of valuing the African American community and the Latino community that's already here in America, that are citizens. Not the undocumented community, which I feel for them, and I know it's a hard life, but at the same time, there are people here struggling. There are people here not getting a great education, not getting scholarships, and to give the scholarships to undocumented citizens, just to schools like this. So the kids, handing out L's or kind of being sore winners. I think it's just kind of it's a hostile environment, because half of the campaign you had these kids being called white supremacist, racist, white trash, and now they win. They're going to react in a bullying way, because they've also been bullied this election, and so it's just a hostile environment.
Black and minority students' response to the election has been remarkable. Immediately upon finding out the results, a group message was made that turned into an even larger group me that was just taking immediate action towards what we can do to really unite our communities and serve as a healing platform for everyone. So I think it's been a great way for everyone to kind of come together and being united. Last week we had a group of students marching around campus chanting, "Build the wall, build the wall, build the wall." And of course this comes directly from some policies that he has suggested, and I think that just shows there's such a diverse population here at Ohio State. So for them to be correlating that and saying that here on campus is it's tragic. We Are America program was awesome. It was outstanding. We had over 200 people show up. We had to have an overflow room. We had lots of different moderators. Professor Leslie Alexander led the program. It was just phenomenal, and just seeing so many different faces and different cultures and ethnicities was remarkable. We had a student from the Muslim Student Association who talked about how just the other day someone tried to pull her hijab off while she was walking to the bus stop. And then there was a student from the African youth population who said that her younger brother was asking if they were going to have to go back to Africa, and it's just so many different unique experiences, but just how tragic they all were.
The numbers at The Ohio State University with respect to African American students, we have fewer African American students today than we did back in the 70s. That's abysmal. This last election, I think it's going to be even harder for me to convince young people that they should run for office, that we need you. We need your voice, we need your passion, and we need your ideas. But it's going to be even more challenging because of how ugly this last election was. Nobody wants to put themselves through it, and nobody wants to put their families through it. It's the young people who have made the changes in this country.
Moving forward, it's just really important to keep this momentum going. So a lot of times, tragic events will occur, and things with the Black Lives Matter movement, and just all these things happen, and everyone's in an uproar, and then about 3 weeks later it kind of dies down, or people are forgetting and moving on to the next thing. So what I find really important is just keeping this community bonded and together, and moving forward, and just being keeping that momentum. So
I really like that there are hearts on there. That means that people saw it and supported me, because I didn't hear from anyone. I just put them up. I'm a first generation Mexican Americans. My parents were born in Mexico, and I'm the first person in our family born here. And in California, there were more people who were like me. So it was a kind of a shock to come to Ohio State, and it really affected like my mental health. Like it was like I was always telling people that this is what was happening at Ohio State. I was always telling people that like, you know, people are racist or xenophobic or homophobic, and it was just that the elections confirmed everything I was already thinking. I was trying to reach queer, Black and brown youth to let them know that there are people on this campus who are working to make it safe for them. Despite the election results, they knew ahead of time that it wasn't going to be safe for them, but in the face of all these aggressions that are happening because of the election, I wanted to let them know that it wasn't just people who were against them, but there were also a lot of people on campus who were working to support them.